So hi everyone, it's Wednesday, and so it's the Wednesday edition of my journey through fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. It's always kind of hokey how I start because I get right into it. I don't wait to build an audience or whatever because I know a lot of people watch this afterwards. For those of you, it's the first time that you have been on here, that you're watching, that you watch later. I come on here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and it is my 10th week of doing this. So far, hey Ken and Bev, how are you guys tonight? So far, I have done 27, 28. This will be my 29th video. So after Friday, it'll be 30 videos that I've done. So I'm on here to share my struggle with fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. I struggled from the time I was 11 years old until I was in my later 30s. And it was bad. It was a bad struggle. I had tried everything and anything to be done with this, medication, books. I read books. I went to doctors. I went to counselors, therapists, psychologists, you name it. I did it 3 weeks in a Christian psychiatric hospital, and to no avail. But I did break free, and I am going to go into more of that next week. Next week is going to be that kind of a reveal. I've been giving just little snippets, little hints of encouragement, little things that you can do right now in order to begin the process of breaking free from this horrible, awful, hellish way of life, which is fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. And I get it. It's like I can come to you and I can say, I get it. I know how you feel. I've been there. It's awful. I've had panic attacks where I've run out of the room, not even screaming. I've had panic attacks where I'm like, tonight, this is going to be it. I've had panic attacks of having to leave places many times. I've had panic attacks or the what if it happens here, what if it happens there, to the point of I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. When I was working during that time, I remember I was working at the mall in Saginaw and just being in that store, just thinking, I'm not going to get out of here today. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do anymore, right? But thank God I had this glimmer during it all. Even in the darkest times, even in the most awful moments, there was still I'm gonna find a way to break free from this. I'm going to. It is going to happen, and it did happen. So now I've been free for about 20 years, a little bit, maybe 20, a little bit more. Hey, Crystal, how are you? So I'm on here just to give you encouragement so I can say, yes, I've been through it. Yes, I get it. Yes, I know how it feels. I know how awful it is. I know what an existence that is to live your life like that. I know it. But I also can tell you I've broke free. And what I say is if I broke free, then anybody can. I'm nobody special. I just had a desire. I had somewhere in the recesses of my mind that looked like a super highway half the time, with so many thoughts and so many negative thoughts and so many what ifs and so many I can't do this anymore and so much going at my mind constantly. There were days I thought I was crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're going through this, but in this tiny little area, it was like, you know what? Gosh, I'm going to break free somehow, some way. So don't let that glimmer of hope fade. don't let that be put out. I don't care what kind of days you have. I don't care what just let that glimmer of hope be there, as little as it is, and don't let that fade. Don't let that fade, okay? So every time I have a topic, sometimes I don't know the topic until a little bit ago. In fact, just like maybe an hour ago, my husband's like, you got to do your video yet today. And I'm like, I know, but I don't know the topic. And maybe that was like 2 hours ago. So just a little bit ago, he's like, honey, you got to do your thing. He's like, do you know what you're talking about tonight? And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to talk about, is it God's will for me to overcome? Is it God's will, right? And a lot of people struggle with knowing that. Is it God's will? Because a lot of you have prayed, I want to be done with this. Oh, dear Lord, take it from me, right? Take this fear from me. Take this anxiety. Like I'll do anything. Lord, where are you? Crying out to him. I get it, and there was me when I went through it, and maybe some of you can relate to this. This was so long ago. I was 11 when this started, and I didn't tell my parents until I was 16, so I struggled for 5 years with this, just trying to process it in my own mind. And what did I think? Hey, Tiffany and Alicia, how are you guys? My thoughts were, like, God does everything. So God brought it on. And I used to think, like, man, God, what did I do? Man, I must have done something that you wanted me to live like this. I must have done something. I don't know. I wasn't perfect, but I thought, man, what did I do that you're so mad at me that you want me to live like this? I was under the impression that God does everything. The bad, the good, he brings it all on, and trying to figure out, why is this happening? Why does he want me to live like this? And it's really hard to extend prayers to a God that you think is even bringing it to you. So it was, I don't remember a lot of prayers of, hey, Lord, set me free, or please, Lord, mine were more like, I don't get it. Why aren't you taking this away? Why do you want me to live like this? So it gave me a great fear of God, not a healthy fear, but a scared fear. Like, if he's doing this, then what's he going to do next? So that was my view. And that might not be your view, but maybe your view is like, where are you, Lord? Why are you not answering my prayer? Maybe this is how I'm supposed to live. Maybe this is my lot in life. Maybe it is because I did this back then and it's kind of my punishment. Maybe it, this person has cancer and that person is whatever, in a wheelchair, so certainly I can put up with this, right? We all have to take what God deals to us. Maybe that's kind of where you're at. Maybe you're frustrated with God. Maybe you're angry with God. Maybe you cried out to him. Maybe you've screamed at him saying, why aren't you doing something? I know I'm talking to somebody, and I will be talking to somebody along the line. But let's get something very clear, okay? And that is that it is God's will for you to be set free and for you to overcome fear, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, all of those things, right? It is his will. I didn't know that back then. I didn't really know that in my 20s. I didn't start seeking God and the things of God and really getting to know him until I was in my later 30s. That's when I was set free, ironically, right? I believed a lot of stuff that is just not true. And there might be some of you who are going to be on here that will listen to me tonight and still maybe think, I don't know if I buy that, right? I'm going to read you something. So I'm going to talk to you about God tonight, you guys. And I'm going to talk to you about Jesus, right? And a lot of times it's like God we can hear about, but Jesus, that sometimes tweaks people a little bit. But Jesus was God in body form, right? In human form. And he told his disciples were asking him one time, like, where's the Father? How do we know the Father? How would we ever know him? And Jesus said, if you've seen me, then you see the Father. So you guys have a Father in heaven. You guys have a Creator that created you, that wanted you on this earth for this time, right now. And it wasn't to live in fear, and it wasn't to live in anxiety, and it wasn't to live depressed. None of that, right? We live in a fallen world where stuff happens, but God is not the author of the bad. It's what I firmly, firmly believe. He is not the author of the bad. No. There's a verse in the Bible, John 10:10. You can go look at it. Go to it. Red letters, Jesus talking. And it says, the thief comes to steal and to kill and to destroy. Who's the thief? The thief is an enemy. He's the enemy. He's the enemy of your soul. Some people call him the devil. Whatever. He's the enemy of your soul. What was your soul? I said it in previous videos. It's your mind, your will, and your emotions. There's an enemy who wars against that. He knows how to push your buttons. He knows how to get you into bondage. He knows how to keep you stuck in things. But if you continue that verse, it says, I have come. Who's I? Jesus. I have come so that you can have life more abundantly to the full. You know, if I said to you, so-and-so is an alcoholic and they're struggling and suffering with alcoholism, and if I would say to you, do you think it's God's will for them to be an alcoholic and stuck in that? And you'd say, no. Most everybody, hey, Lindsay, would say, no, I don't believe that. Or, hey, if so-and-so is addicted to drugs, and oh my goodness, it's just wrecking their life and it's wrecking. And if I said to you, do you think it's God's will for them to be set free from drug addiction? You would say, yes, I believe that. But somehow we come to the realization that when it comes to anxiety, panic attacks, depression, really any sicknesses, diseases, and things like that, some of us have come to say that could just be God's will for my life. That could just be this thing that I have to go through in life, right? That could just be my lot in life. And that simply is not true. It isn't. And I really want you to grasp that and believe it. There's another verse, a very favorite verse of mine in James 1:17. Gosh, I think that's it. And it says, every good and perfect gift comes from above. It comes down from the Father of lights. Every good and perfect gift. If it's not good and it's not perfect, it didn't come from God. It didn't originate with Him. Can He make something beautiful out of things? Yeah, look what He's done for me. Look what He's done for me. Yeah, it took 25 years, and I don't question that anymore. I did for a little bit, like, gosh, I wish that, but I don't question that anymore. But look now, God took something that was so awful in my life, living with fear, anxiety, panic attacks, and now He's turned it around. Right? He's flipped it on the enemy and said, no, I'm going to use you to help and to set thousands of people free. That's my wish. That's my passion. Did God bring the anxiety and the panic attacks and all that stuff? Did He bring that on me? No, absolutely not. I don't believe that anymore at all. Not at all. But now He's using it. He's using it. And it's like you're kicking the enemy right in the face and saying, there you go, buddy. There you go. Now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to help others, right? So I really want you to grasp that tonight. If you've struggled with that, if you've struggled with, where, God, where are you? Why are you not answering my prayers? Why have you not just set me free from this thing? Why haven't you just taken it away from me? Where are you? Why do you want me to be like this? Why do I have to live like this? I don't get it. Okay? I'm asking you to believe that it's not Him. It's not Him that gave it to you. It's not Him that wants you to keep struggling with it. There's an enemy of your soul that wants you to keep stuck in bondage. in captive to those things. Absolutely. God says, I want you set free. So consider the fact that you're even watching these, right? Consider the fact that maybe, and I try to be careful when I say this, because I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm such a blessing. God is using me. God is using me to be a blessing to others, right? So consider that these videos might be part of an answer to your prayer. Like you've been praying, maybe some of you have been praying, and it's like, oh, now you're thinking a little bit and going, oh, wow, like I've found these videos, and some of them are helping me, and some of them are encouraging me. So how about you lift your hands and go, thank you, Lord, that this might be a part of an answer to your prayer. Just consider that. Absolutely consider that. You know, God wants you free. We have a Father in heaven that wants to see people healed and whole and set free, right? This side of heaven, sometimes it takes a bit of work. It takes a renewing of your mind. It takes it takes more than just kind of, you know, sitting and sort of waiting for things, right? But he wants you free. You know, if any of you are fathers or if we're mothers, right? Like, would you put sickness on your kids, right? Would you put depression on them, you know? And he's our Father in heaven. And we're his kids. We're his children. You know, so why would he be arbitrarily up there in heaven saying, I want you to have depression. I want you to be anxious. I want you, and I don't want you well. This is your lot in life and you just have to deal with it. That's not how our Father in heaven operates. That's not how we as her earthly fathers would operate, right? So how would our Father in heaven operate like that? He doesn't. So if there's any truth that I want you guys to get tonight, is if you're struggling with this, fear, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, you know, anything regarding that, emotional bondage, all of those things, God is not the author of it. God is not the one that put it on you, but he absolutely is the one who wants you set free to be able to live the life that he wants you to live, to be able to be a blessing to people as well, and to do the things that he wants you to do. And that is the absolute truth. It's the absolute truth, and I believe that. I didn't believe it 20 years ago. Nope, sorry, I did. 30 years ago. I didn't believe it 30 years ago. I didn't believe it 40 years ago. Gosh, that makes me sound really old. I didn't believe it 40 years ago when I was 18, still struggling badly with this stuff. But I believe it now, and I know it now, and I'm set free, and you can be too. Like I said in the beginning, I am no one special. I am no one special. And next week, I'm going to begin to share just how that happened. So that's all for tonight. I think I went kind of long, and I apologize for that. Now, on Mondays, I'm just going to tell this quickly. On Mondays at the end, I let you guys know that I'm now going to take all of these videos. So far, tonight, after tonight, there'll be 29. After Friday, there's going to be 30 videos, and I'm going to compile them, and my son's going to put them on a YouTube channel, so they're right there. So you can go and you can scroll through. I've had a few people tell me that, gosh, it'd be great if they're on a YouTube channel. Then I don't have to like scroll through your wall and go down and try to look for some. They're all there. The topics are there. You can go to them easily and you know, choose the ones that really speak to you and listen to them over again and begin to get those nuggets that are going to put you on the path to freedom from fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. All right, so that's going to happen. I'm going to say it's going to happen by next Monday. I'm hoping to get that all done this weekend. Okay, so in the meantime, you guys like the video. If it speaks to you, please. If it resonates with you, please like it. If it doesn't resonate with you, but you know somebody that it would resonate with, then share it with them, please. I am so grateful for those of you who have liked and who have shared, because it's when you do that, then they get out. Then these videos get out and they reach more and more people. And that's what I want. That is what I'm passionate about, to see people set free from this awful, awful way of living. So anyway, that's my Wednesday edition, and I will be back here on Friday with I don't know what yet. but I'll know. God'll give me that word, on Friday, and it'll be something else to share with you that is going to bless you. So thank you guys. Have a good night.